All right, here we go. This is going to be one of my larger paintings. This measures 24 by 20 inches high, 24 inches wide by 20 inches high. And it's going to be one of those awesome paintings. I think I'm going to do a... Well, I started with this line already, this horizontal line. But I think I'm going to do a sky right here. Some of you have asked me about creating, showing some reference photos and whatnot. And I'm going to start doing that because I know how important it is for some of you to do that, to show that. Especially those that are looking to do some of the style for yourselves. Here we go. This type of painting, I think that the best way to approach it is just to go for it. Okay, I've said this many times. It's just to go for it. And it's a little difficult and intimidating in the beginning. And I understand why, guys. Some of you have asked me. The reason why it's a little intimidating is because there's a lot of memory. When you create artwork, especially intuitive artwork, you're relying a lot on memory. You're relying a lot on two things, intuition and memory. And so something that may not have just old ideas, right? Old ideas. You've been painting for a while now, and you start sort of accumulating. You start accumulating certain memories, and they don't make sense. Sometimes they don't make sense. Like this cloud right here may not make sense. And it's okay. That's the beauty of it. A lot of the stuff doesn't make sense. That's why it's kind of difficult to do for some people, because we're used to having something organized when we paint. And a lot of the stuff that I do makes no sense. It's even composition can be off. Compared to traditional composition, and also the drawing can be off. You know, if you're thinking about doing something realistic, then this is not your cup of tea. Now, if you're doing something realistic but you want to loosen up, you might want to hang on and watch a little bit of it, or the whole thing, whatever you can get out of it. But I think that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult for many artists to paint loose, because they've expressed this to me already, and you know, I forgot that this is something that I've been practicing for a long time, and I didn't really think about how difficult it can be for someone who's just starting out. And that's why I say the same thing, that I'll use the same words that John Singer Sargent said. You know, there's no such thing as enough drawing and sketching. The reason why these guys, Goya, John Singer Sargent, and all of the great ones, the reason why they sketch so much, I didn't understand when I was younger. The reason why they sketch so much is because they're creating memory. They're creating memory. And so many artists rely on photographs so much that we and there's nothing wrong with using it. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with using it. What I'm saying is we stopped relying on our own intuition. We stop relying on our own intuition, and that's why it becomes difficult. Because when it's time to paint the horse, if we're not looking at a photo of a horse, we're not going to be able to paint a horse if you didn't draw enough horses. You know. Now the other extreme of that would be for you to have painted, right? Not just drawn, but painted so many horses, and now either way, you put in the time to build memory, right? You may still look at a photograph, but you're not completely relying on it. And this is what people ask me. It doesn't seem like you're completely relying on anything, and I'm not. People are right. I'm not. This is the beauty of abstraction, and especially some sort of expressionist abstraction or post-impressionist type of painting, is that you're not really relying completely on anything. You're not relying on anything really. You're just going with it. Something like that, anyways. Check it out. And it only makes sense to you after a while. It may not make sense right from the beginning, but you have to keep practicing. Regardless of what you paint, I think you have to keep practicing. Not to create necessarily the skill, because that will come by itself. To create a library of memories in your mind. This is what I've come to understand. This is what we practice as artists. It's not so much the skill, but it's the library of memories. If you're painting something like this, if you're painting realism or some other thing, then you want to develop the skill only. I think. I don't know. If I want to copy a photograph for whatever artistic purpose, or be in front of a model and it needs to look realistic, then you'll depend more on your skill to doing that than memory, right? Because you're not being an expressionist artist necessarily at that point. You're doing something else, right? There's many different ways of creating artwork, but that's not my jam. I'm not gonna sit in front of someone and paint and try to match their hair color, and that's not. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. It's not for me. Although some artists do a really great job doing that, especially some artists that mix realism and abstraction. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jolly. Thank you so much, Cozy. I appreciate that. Jolly says, hi, Jose, loving the colors. And Cozy says, damn, that's beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. And this is one of the ways I just love painting. It's to simplify, I guess, if that's a word. Simplify. Here, in this place, we make up words. What is that again, honey? Simplify. I'm like, simplicify. I won't try to sound smart and shit. I'm like, simplicify. Yeah. This is really what I try to do, which is simplify everything. And sometimes I overdo it. I know when I overdo it, but it's okay. It works either way. It works. But the simpler the painting, the happier I am, because it's like writing a piece of poetry or saying a love, something, I don't know, writing a love letter. You don't need to be all you have to do is be direct. You don't need to go around the bushes so much, or you don't have to precisely, find the precise words to say I love you, right? You don't have to. You don't have to find some eloquent words to say how you feel. All you have to say is I love you in the simplest form. And I think that this way of painting allows me that. It makes it simple. It makes it simple. It's all I have to do. I don't have to do more, because it's a direct approach. And I use whatever is at hand. Meaning that I'll use a color that's not supposed to go there. I'll still use it. It's something that I was paying attention a lot to, and I wasn't paying attention to do it that way, but I was paying attention to what's his name, Bruce Lee. I was paying attention to how he talked about in his art form. He uses everything to fight the opponent, right? He'll use everything, and in painting, I've noticed that I'll do that too, especially when I'm all in, right? I'm in the zone. When I'm extremely inspired, I'll start using everything. I'll use colors that are not supposed to go there. I'll use the colors that were supposed to be in the flesh tone or a tree or whatever. I'll put them on the sky, because I'm using everything, and I'm not doing this thinking. I'm just and the color just happened to be in front of me, and I'm using it. It's a very beautiful approach to painting. I think it's very zen, because I mean, if I'm not going to be zen in my normal life, fuck it. At least here, right? At least here, at least these moments, and hopefully it'll spill to my other parts of my life. But I won't ask for more for now. At least here, because when I create artwork, when I'm painting, I'm coming up with colors. That's why I love to have a let me show you the palette, quote unquote dirty palette. I don't keep it organized. One of the reasons is that I don't really keep the palette organized is because, well, the colors I put them there for memory, right? They're in a sequence, but the colors here that I mix, they're completely unorganized. I don't keep an organization like some portrait painters do or some abstract painters do. They keep their blues with their blues, they keep their oranges with their oranges, and they don't want them to kind of mix. A lot of them are afraid of the colors mixing and having some spillover or getting dirty, right? Getting the muddy, in other words, getting the colors muddy. To me, I really don't care. I mean, I could, it's not my thing. I don't mind that. If there's a dirty color or a muddy color, I'll use it. I'll put it in the face in a portrait. I don't mind, because that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is the expression. You see, as we pull back, we start seeing the landscape. You see, and I'm caring about the expression of it. I just don't care about. That's why I said in the beginning, and some people have gotten it, other people have had a hard time with it. When I started showing some of the videos on YouTube, when people started asking me about the palette and how do I mix the colors, I responded. You guys are saying you guys are asking the wrong questions. The right question is, or not even a question, but how do you approach it? You approach it like a child. You just don't care. Imagine you're a child. And you use what you know. Some of you are excellent realist painters. You'll use that. Some of you are more on the abstract end. You'll use that. Some of you are more like me, a bit more Fauvist, more expression Fauvist type of, somewhat impressionistic painters. Then you'll use that. It doesn't really matter. None of it matters. You're only using what you know. It's very Bruce Lee, very, very Jeet Kune Do type of stuff. At least that's how I like to see it. Bruce Lee used to say, if you're fighting an opponent, in this case, if you're creating the artwork, right, fighting the opponent, uh, you'll use anything at hand. You'll kick the person's ass with a book, like in the Bourne movies, right? You don't need a weapon. Anything and everything around you, your hands, everything can be your weapon. It will be utilized to fulfill that. It's the same thing with a painting. This is the way I like to approach it anyways. What the hell is red supposed to do here? Nothing other than fulfilling its its purpose. You know, it's not really, there's no reason why red is here. There's really no, I can't think of a logic reason why it's there. It's just supposed to be there. You know, because I'm using everything. I'll use everything in it. Little brush, big brush, whatever. I'll use the same brush and use the back side of the brush, right? To do some of this stuff, to do some of this line work. It's about using it all. I'm trying to listen to the painting. In other words, I know it sounds kind of like airy-fairy, but I'm trying to listen to the painting because really what I'm trying to do is be here as present as possible. And it's not easy, or at least it doesn't appear easy, because you have to keep moving. Moving. This is something that I haven't told you guys until today. I think I started talking about it in another video. Something that I haven't really expressed to you guys about my artwork. It's very hard on the body. Like, you have to keep moving. And so I every time I finish a painting, especially something this size, I kind of end up a little bit winded, you know, if that's a word. A little bit tired, right? Because it's very focused. So I'm almost pushing and moving, and it's hard on the hand. It's hard on the hand. It can be, you know, until you do a few of them. After I do, like, you know, I don't know, a handful of them, and I do that every day, then it starts becoming lighter. I start getting lighter and looser, right? Because now the body has by itself, not because of my intelligence, but the body's intelligence has accommodated to the situation, right? It understands what it needs to do. So now it becomes wiser. It doesn't need me. At the beginning, I feel like it needs me, but after I paint a few paintings like this a week, you know, every day without skipping a beat, every day, right? I start doing a few paintings every day. Then the body starts becoming very wise. That's why I tell people don't stop, because the body becomes there's a wisdom that it develops. It becomes extremely intelligent, and it knows what to do. And it'll use anything to finish the purpose. You know, your eyes become very focused. Like, you know what to do. If you want to find out how good you can get, don't stop painting. Don't skip a beat. At most, skip one day, at the very most. But don't skip even a day. Draw something, sketch something. Keep the momentum going, and then you'll start getting the juice. There's a juice that's coming out, you know. But you have to keep the momentum going. I feel like that's in everything in life. So it's very simple. I happen to use this palette, but any palette works. Let me share with you the palette that I'm using. For those of you who don't know yet, I'm using titanium or soft white, either one. Phthalo blue, Viridian. Thank you so much, Glama. Glama says I love these colors. I'm using pale yellow cadmium yellow. This two are cad, the red and the yellow. Very, very bright, very, you know, it's very simple. It's a very simple palette. I'm using this yellow, cadmium yellow, and this cad red. Is it cadmium yellow? Not sure. Yeah, I think they're both cad. This is a deep red. Just a very bright, intense red. Not crimson, not, you know, it's just a red. This is dioxazine purple. This is magenta. I love mixing magenta and red together. It creates a very rich pink. And then I have ivory black today. I usually like to use lamp black, but I have ivory today. And just that. Very simple. So there you guys have it. If you guys have any questions regarding what I do, how I do it, and whatnot, DM me. I'm still doing the one-on-one coaching for those of you who have questions on marketing your work, getting it to the market, and on and on. I have a bunch of free videos. I mean, essentially, no. I have a bunch of free videos on YouTube. Over 1,000 videos on painting, and I'm painting it. They're different types of videos. I'm gonna start doing actual classes where I'm gonna show you guys what colors and I'm gonna show you everything. Hopefully, do it with I don't know if I'm gonna do it with a phone or 2 other cameras. I'm not sure, but they're gonna be longer. They're gonna be longer videos where you guys can see it, and they're gonna be from a distance also, and I'm gonna, just more detail, a lot more detail. And this one, they're gonna be actual classes. I'm setting up a website for that, and I don't know. I'm trying to put him in my schedule. I know I can, and we're probably gonna start once a week, something like that, and see where it goes. So those of you who want in, let me know, so that way I can remind you when it's ready. And also, I'm going to be auctioning this painting on eBay, and the auction starts at 99 cents because I'm crazy that way. I'll put my auctions very low, and even though I've been very lucky and I'm very grateful to have following of people who enjoy the work and collect the work, I think it's important to continue creating work and creating original work available. I think that's very important, especially today where everybody wants to jump into just making prints, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think we should stop making original work available. It needs to be available. It's just my way of thinking. I don't know. Regardless, so there you guys have it. To visit my eBay store, just click on the link in my profile, and you'll see all the new works that I've been doing this week. I'm posting the new works. I'm listing the new works this week, and they're very cool. So check them out. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.